everyone, it's Michele from Scrap Secrets and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is part of a very special hop celebrating the fact that Terra and I hit our 500 subscribers. We're so excited to be celebrating this milestone with you guys that we're offering 2 different prizes. Make sure that you see everybody's videos throughout the hop, which you can find by clicking on the hashtag in the title of the video, typing the hashtag into the search bar, or I will have everyone's videos linked below once the hop goes live. Thank you guys so much for all of the support that you've given us, and stay tuned for the ways that you can win. Here is my celebration card. We're going to be doing this fun fold since fun folds are my absolute favorite cards to make. So you're going to need to cut a piece of cardstock down to 10.5 by 5.5. And on the 10.5 inch side, you're going to score at 3.5 and 7 inches. You're going to take those score marks and you're going to make sure that they line up so your card is square. Do 1 mountain fold and 1 valley fold. It doesn't matter on which side. It's fine, just as long as you make sure the score marks are done very well, or you burnish them very well. So you're going to fold over one side to the middle, and you're going to put it in your scoreboard and mark 1 7/8 inches off. On the Martha Stewart scoreboard, that is the little teal line that's right before the 2. So if you did that on the bottom left-hand side, when you flip it over, you're going to want to mark 1 7/8 on the top right. The next step that you're going to do is we are going to create some score marks. So I found the easiest way to do this was to create a black line down the center at 6 inches so that I could make sure that I lined up the corner piece where my left side meets my middle, and then line it up with the tick mark that I made at 1 7/8. So now, since you're going to be scoring through 2 pieces of cardstock, I found the easiest way to do this was to do very light strokes down to create the score mark. Don't try to go in and do like a thick score mark, like a real heavy handed score mark. You want to just do a couple of light passes through so that you get a nice smooth score line and it goes through both sets of cardstock, and you want to make sure you don't slip out of the track. So you're going to have a triangle on the top and a triangle on the bottom, and you're going to want to fold 1 in and fold 1 forward. So I'll show you what I mean. I know that this is off camera, but you're going to push the top in so that you have a piece like this that just looks like you cut an angle off of it. So you're going to score that, and then so that folds out. The next one's going to go fold behind. So that one folds forward, this one's going to fold behind. And it'll make more sense once you see the whole thing come together. I'm going to burnish all of the score marks again. The more you work on breaking down the fibers of the paper by going back and forth, folding it and unfolding it, the easier it is for the card to just do that naturally. So make sure you do that a couple times before you start putting the card together. So there you go. You can see that I'm folding it and unfolding it, and that's what this looks like. So now we're going to do the middle piece. You're going to cut a piece of cardstock to 5 1/8 by 3 1/4, and then you're going to take the piece on both of the long sides and mark 1 7/8 of an inch, because you're going to do the same thing that you did with the score marks, except you're going to cut them. So you're going to have a triangle for the top, a triangle for the bottom, and I believe that's a rhombus in the middle. I wasn't great at geometry. But I believe that's a rhombus in the middle. So now for the sides, it's going to be the same exact measurements, 5 1/8 by 3 1/4, but you're going to make only 1 7/8 inch mark and then cut that off for an angle. So there you can see that this card looks a little bit different than the one that I showed you guys because I cut my pattern paper wrong. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. I just actually turned the cardstock over and cut that. You don't do that. Cut on the same side that you make the mark. So anyway, now we're going to be creating the pattern paper. So this stamp is from a stamp set that I don't think that they make anymore. It is actually a stamp set from 2008 called My Cute Stamps. It's HBJ, it says. So I don't even know the name of it, but it was from the company My Cute Stamps. But there are pretzel stamps out there. You can create this any way you want. Now, while I'm creating this pattern background, let me talk to you a little bit about the hop and a little bit about why I picked these pretzels, because you guys are probably super confused. You said it's a celebration hop and you're doing pretzels. So for the hop, you want to make sure that you click on the hashtag that's in the title to make sure that you hit everybody's videos. What's going to happen is when you comment, like, and subscribe to everyone's videos, each participant is going to give us a name of a person that subscribes, likes, and comments on their videos. And then Tara and I are going to pick 2 names to win the prizes. And Tara is giving away a gift card to a online store of your choice. And I am giving away a bunch of stamps as a prize pack. So good luck to you all. Thank you guys so much for being supportive and subscribing and liking and commenting. I hope that you're enjoying this hop and finding, some great new content creators that maybe you didn't know before this hop. So super excited, and thank you guys that are participating in the hop. We appreciate you guys so much for making videos to celebrate with us. So I'm taking the stamp and creating my own pattern paper. So we're going to keep doing that. So I do this for the top and the bottom triangles as well. So, I told you about the hashtag part of the hop, how you go about seeing everybody's videos, and how you're going to be entered to win. So I hope that you guys participate in this. Okay, so now I've created the top and the bottom pattern pieces as well. What I do want to tell you is you are going to want to cut off about 1/4 of an inch on that long side of the triangle, because it actually fits exactly to the card base, the piece of the triangle on the card base. So if you want to have a border like the rest of the edges, you are going to want to cut off 1/4 of a piece, 1/4 of an inch of cardstock. So I did go around all of the edges with the tea dye distress ink, because I thought the pattern paper kind of lended itself to a little bit of a vintagey look. So for the pretzels, I am actually taking a jelly pen and going and putting little dots on there to make it look like salt. So now let me tell you why I picked the pretzels for this celebration card, because you guys are probably wondering about that. So there's a show that I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite shows. It's about a workplace, and there's a character on there whose favorite day is Pretzel Day. And I so badly wanted to do a TikTok and insert it in here as an inside joke for one of the fellow content creators. And I wanted to do his speech on Pretzel Day. It went something like, he gets up every morning. If he sleeps in a bed that's too small for him, he drives his daughter to school at a school that's too expensive, and he goes to a job where he gets paid too little. But on Pretzel Day, well, I like Pretzel Day. So Pretzel Day is his absolute favorite. I also got the Kindred Stamps Mega Coworker stamp set and absolutely loved it and wanted to use it. And since his character was in there, I had to. I just thought Pretzel Day is like his Christmas and birthday and every other day that's good combined into one. So that's his like celebration day. So I thought that I would honor Pretzel Day with this celebration card. So that's why. And you'll see the character in a minute. So now I'm going around, back to the card, I'm going around the edges with that tea dye distress ink. And I'm so sorry about the shaking of the camera. I keep saying this, but I really need to figure something out for that. So I'm going around the edges with that tea dye distress ink just to make it look vintagey with the rest of it. I probably should have done vintage photo, which, as most of you guys know, was like the most common distress ink. It's probably the first distress ink that most of us owned. So now I'm gluing the pieces of cardstock onto the background, and this is where you can see that I kind of messed up. I had accidentally cut the wrong side of the pattern paper. I used the dog side instead of the houndstooth side, and the card now has to open to the right instead of opening to the left, which isn't a big deal. It just gives the card a little bit of a different look. So now I'm gluing all of these pieces into place using my Honeybee precision glue. which is fantastic. I actually like this a lot. I didn't think I liked it in the beginning. This is my second tube, and when I opened it, I used it the other day, and I forgot that I had ordered 2 of them, and I was like, oh, why is there plastic wrap on this one? I thought that I was picking up the one that I had already opened. I opened up the second one, and it feels like it's easier to use than the first one, because I know I had said in some of my other videos that I wasn't too sure if I was crazy about it or not, but I do like this one. It's very easy to use. So now you can see that I've glued all the pattern paper and the created pattern paper on there. We are going to get ready to do our belly band. So our belly band is, I believe this is 1¼ inches by 10½. So I'm actually going to cut it down in a second. But I am putting it around there very, very loosely because I want to make sure that it slides nice and easily off of the, on and off of the card. So I'm actually going to decorate it and add a little bit of a piece of scrap pattern paper that I had left over. All that pattern paper, not the one that I created, but the one that is actually already created, those were all scraps that I had lying on my desk, and I thought it just worked great together. But the reason that I couldn't cut more and, fix my mistake was this was the last of the pattern paper that I had. So I'm just using the very, very last scraps of the piece of pattern paper, again, because I am now challenging myself to use all of my scraps. So I'm going to go over the edge of that with some more of that tea dye distress ink, and I probably should have glued these two together before I actually did the belly band, like before I bent the belly band, because that pattern paper doesn't exactly lay flat on there, but it's on there well enough. So if you're going to create this, I would recommend doing that first and maybe using ATG, not wet glue, on this. I don't know if that would make it work a little bit better and lay together nicely, a little bit nicer. I don't know, but you could definitely try that out. So now I am adjusting the belly band, seeing what it looks like on there, and it works. It slides off. So we are going to use that glue again and just glue the 2 pieces together. So I hope that this is making sense to you guys. I did have to watch the video that I saw for this to learn how to do this a couple times before I actually got it all right. The folding is probably the trickiest part of the whole entire thing. So this is the Mega Coworkers stamp set. You can see it's huge. It has a very high price point, but there are so many stamps on it. So here is the character who loves Pretzel Day. And I'm inking it up in the same Concord and 9th wheat ink that I used to ink up the pretzels. I don't think I told you, but that was when I did the pretzels, but that was the wheat ink from Concord and 9th that I used. I was going to color him in, but I decided against that because I felt like this card had a very vintagey feel to it, and I decided adding more color probably would take away from that, so let's kind of just leave him like that. But I do go around the edges of that character with that tea dye distress ink, and just to kind of make everything look cohesive, kind of like I did with this pattern paper. These, again, are just scraps of paper that were left around. So I believe that is 1½ inches by 3 inches. And then everything else is about a ½ inch larger than that. Again, they were just scraps that were lying around, and these just happened to fit very nicely together. The character fit perfectly on this little scrap of cardstock that I had lying around. That's the same as the one that I stamped the pretzels on. So I'm gluing that on, and then we are going to glue that to the belly band. So the front of the card will be done after this. You could decorate it more. You could put pretzels on the front of this. There's so much more that you could do. I just wanted to keep it pretty simple. I wanted it to be vintagey and simple. It's probably going to end up being a masculine card because of the colors. So I just didn't want to put bling on it or make it, kind of like make it girly. So now I'm taking a scrap of that pattern paper again, and we're going to take a scrap of the cream colored cardstock because we're going to make the sentiment. I wanted the sentiment to say it is Pretzel Day. Now there's another character in this show that was charged with doing a birthday party. So instead of having a banner that says, "It's your birthday," with an exclamation point, he made a banner that says, "It is your birthday," with a period. Because it was a fact. That's what he said. It's, it is your birthday. It's a fact. So I wanted to say, "It is pretzel day," with a period on there. So there was nothing in there that said that. The only thing that said pretzel was, it said, I like you more than pretzels. So I decided to take the sentiment that says, "It is your," and mask off the "your" to say "it is," and then use the pretzel image, and then another sentiment in there said birthday. So I just wanted to use the day from birthday. So I did some masking to create that. Now you can cut your stamps, which I've done in the past, but I just decided not to do this because I hadn't put ink on these yet, so it was very easy to mask these off. So it's going to say, "It is the icon pretzel," and then "day" with a period at the end. I should have made this piece of paper a little bit longer because you can kind of see the period on there, but you'll get the joke. If you've ever seen the show, you'll understand. So I didn't show you the stamping of the word "day" because it was just the same type of masking over and over again. But that's the sentiment, and I'm going to glue it onto a piece of the pattern paper and then a piece of the scrap brown cardstock that we created the base out of. And that's the card. So I hope that you guys will try this fun fold out. It was a lot of fun to create. I love this show. I was so glad that I was able to do a celebration card that was a little bit different. It wasn't a wedding anniversary card or a birthday celebration. It was something that was a little bit different, but still, if you watch the show, it was a total celebration day for them. So here's a picture of the card when it's closed, and then two pictures of it when it's open. Thank you guys so much for watching, commenting, subscribing. Good luck in the contest, and I'll see you guys again soon for the next video. Bye!